Right, I'm Dave Eva, and I'm a National Officer for Unionlearn, which is the learning and skills arm of the TUC, the Trade Union Congress.
So we're talking about digital skills. What digital skills are important within employment today?
I think there's a whole range of digital skills important in work today. The key thing is that most work now involves some use of processing of information, information increasingly in electronic form. So whether it's at the level of having to now write your reports and communicate with people electronically, or file things electronically, or in workplaces that are production workplaces, actually doing quality control, process information, batch information, all being done electronically. So there's some sort of interaction with a computer of some form. Might be keyboard, but increasingly also touchscreen based, but actually understanding how information is processed is, I think, probably the key part of it.
So what is the difference between skills, digital skills at work and socially?
Increasingly, I think that the two will become blurred. I suppose workplace IT skills are probably predominantly PC and keyboard based up until recently, and therefore those skills have been important, but people at home have been using their tablets and their iPhones and that, and I think increasingly what we'll see is a move towards more technology being touchscreen based, more like your phone, and therefore the sorts of skills you'll need to actually use the technology physically becoming much more similar. In terms of what sort of software and what sort of activities you'll be undertaking, I suppose at work they'll still probably be much more routine than in your daily life. Your daily life will probably involve more things that I'm actually thinking about it, maybe you will be doing them at work, like shopping online, sending information to people. But again, those will be presumably skills that people will need at work in some forms at workplaces. And I think the other thing that obviously if you're not in work and you're in society, that sort of searching the internet, looking for things that you might be employed to do, and then the skills to actually sort of summarise the information about yourself into a form that gets you a job, are particularly important if you're not actually in the workplace.
So what can we do to help those that don't have these skills?
Well, I think there's levels of not having skills. There's obviously a significant proportion of people who do not use a computer of any form and are not online. And I think they're one group. Then there's the sort of people who do use it socially and might use their iPhone and Facebook and things like that, but don't see those really as IT skills, but they've obviously got the rudiments of what's going on. For those that don't have any PC skills, I think that there's a group of people for whom that's because they don't have the finances or access to these things, and I think there's a lot of work that can be done assisting people to get greater access to digital equipment and digital skills. So for example, the TUC is involved in quite a number of programs where our Union Learning Fund projects are establishing at workplaces learning centres, and in those learning centres during their own time, quite often, but sometimes with employer support, people who've never used computers before can come in to a safe environment and learn how to use a computer. We've increasingly been doing that in the community as well, so there's a number of projects that unions are undertaking, working with things like housing associations and that to place learning centres in communities. A lot of union members obviously live near where they work, or may not work in a workplace that has a learning centre. So if we can help them to access digital skills by placing a learning centre in their community, that's obviously good for them. And obviously there needs to be the learning that is in the form that works for them. So for a lot of people, that's not going on a sort of full day length course over 10 weeks. It will be bite-sized learning, picking the thing up in small, accessible chunks, and supported by someone who actually understands their fears and their needs in terms of learning how to use digital equipment.